Hey guys, good morning. Coach Jen T here. So I just want to quickly go over some grocery finds and then we're going to go over a few tips for you at the end of the video. So stay tuned. I hope everyone's having a great summer. It's crazy how quickly I was telling someone, like, well, tell everybody, I can't believe that summer is like winding down and back to school's coming. It's going to be a great time to get refocused on nutrition. So with that, and with my flexible dieting sort of style of coaching and establishing healthy habits, I just wanted to kind of go over some grocery items that maybe are a little more macro friendly, like either lower carbs or a healthier version, or especially higher protein. So first, we're going to go over some whole foods that our fridge is always loaded with vegetables. And if you can prep your vegetables ahead of time, like have things cut up, easy to go, front and center of the fridge, it makes it super easy. Like we always have celery sticks and bell peppers and tomatoes and mushrooms and cucumbers all kind of cut up in the front, so they're easy, quick snacking. So you can fill up on those fibrous foods first before you move on to whatever else you might want. And you want to make sure you're getting protein with every meal and snack if possible. Prioritize that protein, even if that's the one thing you are tracking, to kind of keep you supporting your muscle and burning fat and keeping your metabolism up. Protein has so many benefits. So whole food sources, people kind of smash on like potatoes a lot, but they're actually good for you. They're high fiber, they keep you full, and eating potatoes is like far better than like eating French fries. And you can actually use your air fryer to make like cooked potatoes that taste more like French fries. So here we have a sweet potato, and we also have just baby red potatoes. So with both of these, you can either poke holes in this and microwave your sweet potato for a single serve, or you can roast it in bulk. Or you can also just take your potatoes, slice them up. You can mix them, toss them with olive oil and seasonings like garlic powder, salt, and pepper, and you can air fry them. And it's just a quick set it and forget it way to get crispy potatoes that are delicious, high fiber, and a great source of carbohydrates. We also have for whole foods avocado. That would be a great fat source. Usually, I like to say, like, a rule of thumb is about a half an avocado is a serving. Fats really add up a lot, but you typically, people have a higher target for calories than they think they need. So like if you're going to get healthy fats, I think avocado is a great one. With avocado, I like to make sure before you cut it, this is not even ripe yet, but it should be a little bit squishy when it's ready to eat, or like not squishy, soft. But right now this one's hard, so it's not ready. But if you take it and like spread it on toast, and then you can add everything bagel seasoning, which just is, I think it's absolutely delicious. But you can also add it to different Mexican dishes as a side. There are so many things you can do with avocado, and some people like to eat it plain, but a very healthy source of fat. And again, a little goes a long way. Another whole food source would be almonds. Almonds, or any kind of nut, really is a great source of healthy fat, has some fiber. A lot of people are mistaken that nuts are more of a protein source, but they are absolutely not. They're more of a fat source. So you want to make sure you're enjoying your nuts, but you're also making sure that you're paying attention to portion sizes, because they are very fat and calorie dense. So a little goes a long way. Again, with these, any kind of fat source, you want to make sure that you're paying attention to portion sizes. I think I shared this in a last video. These are just lightly salted. But you can easily eat the whole thing if you're not measuring out. One of these things is 6 servings. So you want to pay attention to what a serving is. One serving is 28 nuts, or 28 grams in weight. So you want to make sure you're paying attention to that, especially if you're new to tracking or you're new to paying attention to those calories. Just weighing and measuring your food for the first week, especially items you eat on a normal basis, can really help you decrease calories a little bit here and there if your goal is like fat loss. What else do we have for Whole Foods? I think that's it for Whole Foods here. Again, the fridge is loaded. You want to make sure you always have your meats and veggies in stock. One thing that I find with my clients is they say, like, making the healthy choice the easy choice and planning ahead, making sure those things are in stock, having a lunch packed, taking a little bit of time the night before just to really plan out and think about your day really can help you stay on track. So making sure you're stocked up on that stuff. Now we'll just get into like some other fun things that I'll fly through. If you're looking for a quick, easy protein and you like tuna, these tuna packets are so easy. You can honestly eat them out of the package. This is sweet and spicy. It's 90 calories and 16 grams of protein, so a pretty decent source. Again, these do have, I've mentioned this before, they do have 15% of your daily value of sodium. So if you're going to have things like packaged tuna like this, you want to make sure that you're just paying attention to your salt in other areas. But the sweet and spicy flavor is delicious. I also like the hickory smoked one's my favorite, and the deli style is my favorite. And you can do a lot with them. You can make wraps, sandwiches, tuna melts. Speaking of tuna melts, another thing I really like are these Laughing Cow cheese wedges. They come in like things like this. It's spreadable cheese, almost like it reminds me of cream cheese. This is the white cheddar flavor. They have a jalapeno one too. But one wedge is 25 calories, so much lower calorie than like than cream cheese, but you can actually use it as a cheese spread with something like a deli style tuna packet on some bread and have an open faced toasted sandwich. Or whatever your heart desires, but you can do different things with this. You can also use it on like English muffins spread with everything bagel seasoning. And then we have my favorite protein bar. It is processed. You don't want to use too much protein supplements like bars and protein powders, but 1 or 2 supplements a day to hit your protein target is a-okay in my book. And these really taste like dessert. They're chewy. There are like little chocolate chunks in them. 21 grams of protein in a bar for 190 calories. My general rule of thumb, if you are going to go for a protein bar, make sure it has at least 20 grams of protein and make sure it's under 200 calories is kind of a good rule of thumb there. And this one is the chocolate chip cookie dough one, and it just has like chunks of chocolate chips, and I think it's good. If you don't worry, but I think they're delicious. These Lily chocolate chips, these are 60 calories for 14 grams in weight, or 33 chips. I don't know who's going to count out their chips, but you can weigh them out, 14 grams in weight. Lily's chips are just like a lower calorie option for chocolate chips. And I personally, this bag lasts forever. And I'll sprinkle a little bit on like either in my oatmeal, on top of my oatmeal, or in pancakes. And it's just a really nice way to like get a sweet treat without overindulging in extra sugar. And this one is the chocolate salted caramel flavor. All right, guys, while I had taken a break, I made a cup of coffee, and I always think I should share this, but then I forget. If you are short on protein, and I have a couple clients now that are hooked on protein coffee. This is just like regular black coffee with a little bit of unsweetened almond milk to cool it off a little bit so that the protein powder doesn't curdle. But once it's cooled off just a little bit with a splash of almond milk, you put in a half a scoop of protein powder. You can use a whole scoop if you want to. This is the vanilla flavor in the Optimum Nutrition. But you can use any, like it depends on what you're trying to do. You can do unflavored protein powder if you want. But I personally like vanilla like creamer and stuff. And this makes it thick and creamy without actually using coffee creamer. And it adds, like if I have 2 cups of coffee with half a scoop each, you're going to get an extra 24 grams of protein. And then the trick is using a frother when you're done, just to make it nice and creamy, and it takes no time, and you just really can start your morning with like a nice protein packed coffee, and it's delicious. I look forward to it every day. And over the summer we went camping with family, and one of my cousins tried a sip, and when she went home she was asking me about what protein powder it was because she really liked it. The next up is this Halo Top ice cream. If you like ice cream, there is nothing wrong with that. Going out for ice cream is like a favorite summertime activity. But if you're looking for like lower calorie, this Halo Top ice cream is just really good. I think what I like about it is you can't tell the difference. It's not like a healthier ice cream as far as like the taste. My daughter said when she pulled it out, she said, "Mommy, is this protein ice cream?" And I'm like, "Wait, how did you know?" But it's 6 grams of protein in a serving and only 120 calories. If you eat the whole thing, it's 360 calories. But I don't know of any other time you can eat a pint of ice cream for 360 calories. Ben and Jerry's can really add up on calories. Um, this one is the chocolate caramel brownie. I am absolutely hooked on it. It's creamy, it's easy to scoop when you take it right out. It's not like hard, and it's just really good. I love the Halo Top ice creams, especially if you do like your nighttime ice cream treat. The Yasso yogurt bars are also good. Next up, we have the Siggy's yogurt. You can find these at most grocery stores. I found these at A&B Naturals um, in Bar Harbor, but I think you can get them at Hannaford too. And they're just um, this one's mixed berries, and this one is blueberry flavor. For a whole thing, it's 120 calories and 15 grams of protein, you guys. So it's pretty decent, and it has no fat and 14 carbs. There are some added sugars, but only 7 grams, and it's just a good, decent source of grab and go protein if you like yogurt. And then we have pickles are we love the Clausen pickles, but this is the deli sandwich slices, and pickles are just a great way to like add crunch and with very little calories. So if you like pickles, banana peppers, roasted red peppers in a jar, those are all great ways to just add crunch and flavor. We love them in sandwiches, or if you're making something for lunch and you have pickles on the side, um, just a good way to add some flavor to your meals. I am hooked on the sweet chili. I add it to my eggs almost every morning for breakfast, and you can add it as a dipping sauce. You can whip it up in like chicken wings and air fry them, but this is the sugar-free G. Hughes dipping sauce and the sweet chili flavor. It's 5 calories for 2 tablespoons. A lot of these types of things usually have a lot more sugar, a lot more added sugar, so you can save some calories by watching out for your condiments and what you're getting there. Um, the family loves the Banza cavatappi, or any kind of Banza pasta in general, made from chickpeas. It's got more protein and fiber with less calories. So like a serving of this would be 5 grams of fiber and 11 grams of protein, which is pretty decent. And you really can't tell the difference between this and like white pasta. My husband and daughter like it too, so if that tells you something. And then we have the Kodiak cake mix. I've shared this a gazillion times, but it's just a more protein packed pancake mix than something like Bisquick. So you can add even more protein if you, in your pancake batter, add milk, or you can add eggs to the batter, or even a scoop of protein powder. And you can make some really good pancakes or waffles that have more protein for less calories there. I've shared the Dave's thin sliced killer bread before. That's our go-to bread, and it comes in like different types. Like there's whole grains, or there's the seed bread. But I really like this one too. This is the Dave's also organic breakfast bread, and it's the Raisin the Roof flavor, which is like basically cinnamon raisin toast. And it's got some fiber in it, and it's like 90 calories for one slice. So if you like cinnamon raisin bread, this is just a better version for you. And it makes really good toast with peanut butter. Next up, we have this carton of egg makers. So basically, if you love eggs, eggs are delicious and great for you. But the yolk does contain some fat. So if you're trying to like cut back on fat, I always suggest, to my clients, If you're going to have like 3 eggs or 2 eggs for breakfast, have 1 whole egg and then use egg whites for the rest of it. So you can really cut back on fat there. And then also, if you're looking for a quick, easy way to make eggs, this Egg Makers has 0 fat, 0 carbs, 5 grams of protein for 3 tablespoons, or 46 grams in weight. And you can really amp up your protein easily with eggs. And you can get egg whites in a carton too. But these Egg Makers are just, they're made from egg whites, but they have the yellow. So they just are more thick and creamy like egg yolks would be. And you can make a nice scramble with that. And then finally, we have these Baby Bell cheeses. I shared it last time, but this is the Baby Bell Light. And they come in like something like this, and then they're covered in wax, and it's a nice single serve way to get like a cheese as a snack. And one piece is 50 calories, and then you can get 5 grams of protein in it. So a nice grab and go little snack on the side with some protein and fat. That is it for grocery finds, and then we're going to move right into some tips to think about for the weekend. Hey guys, we're going to continue the video. We just did a little bit of grocery finds, and now we're just going to go over some quick tips based on like some things that my clients are working through and maybe questions they've had. So number one is that there are no hard and fast rules that you have to eat breakfast. So breakfast, basically what I think of as breakfast is basically break the fast. So you went to bed, you've been sleeping all night, you wake up and it's time to eat at some point, right? So I am a breakfast person. Sorry, I just realized I didn't know if my microphone was on, and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna do all this talking and not have it be working, sorry. But it is on. So I am a breakfast person. I love breakfast. It's like my favorite meal. I haven't had breakfast yet, and that's all I can think about. But some people just aren't the type of person to wake up and have breakfast, right? Either you don't have time, or you're not in the mood, you just don't like to eat in the morning. So totally fine. What matters most is that when you finally do eat, you want to set your day up for success as far as regulating your blood sugar and feeling really good and energized. That being said, like your first meal of the day should include lots and lots of protein, some healthy fat, some healthy fiber-rich carbs if you're going to have carbs, things like fruit or whole grain bread or things like that. You have that flexibility in your diet to like enjoy what you want, but you always want to pair stuff with protein to keep your blood sugar regulated. So don't let your first meal of the day be nothing but like a bagel with cream cheese, but rather try to add something with it, like, you know, protein in the form of eggs, or I'm trying to think of other ones, like even like sausage or bacon or any kind of protein in the morning. A protein shake is also very popular, or like Greek yogurt is a great grab and go. Make sure that you are pairing it with lots of protein. The best rule of thumb, if you have a protein goal, so in my coaching program, we do aim for protein first. We always have a protein goal, and that's when people start instantly seeing like more results when they're hitting their protein. But taking your protein target and dividing it out by 3 and trying to get that amount of protein in each meal is a great way to set yourself up for success. That being said, again, there are no hard and fast rules that you have to eat breakfast first thing in the morning. If you want to eat breakfast because you find that you're falling short on protein every day, so you want to have that first meal a little bit earlier, if you're not one that likes to eat stuff, you can always opt for drinking your protein shake or drinking your protein calories. That's very easily digestible and a great way to get your protein without feeling like you're actually eating something, which a lot of my some of my clients don't like to eat. Some of them do, as far as breakfast first thing in the morning. So just something to think about. Number 2, if you are traveling, you guys, one thing with traveling, especially flying on a plane, you can totally dehydrate yourself like a lot just by not drinking enough water. And water in airports is so expensive. So one quick tip, if you're flying somewhere, which one of my clients recently was, and we went over some tips on flying and traveling. But you can actually bring an empty water bottle through TSA. Once you get through TSA, you have your empty water bottle, and airports have water fountains. So you can keep refilling your water bottle and fill it up before you actually board your plane, and then you have water for the flight. Going to the bathroom on a plane is not really spacious or fun, but it's so important to stay hydrated so that you can really ward off like getting fatigued, getting too jet lagged, keeping that energy up, and just really making better choices as far as the plane goes. And then you can also bring your own food on a plane. So I personally like to pack like a little package of snacks on my own, because the snacks on the airplane that are offered are just like super salty. Usually it's either like chips, or usually it's chips or crackers or cookies or something that's really something to munch on, but it's not going to give you anything to sustain. So planning ahead and packing your own snacks when you're going on a flight is really actually a great way to succeed. And then you get off the plane, you're not feeling sluggish because you overdid it on like carbs, as far as processed foods. So you can actually, if you really want to, you can cut up little Ziploc baggies of veggie sticks. But you do want to make sure that you're bringing protein. So things like beef jerky are great. You can enjoy things like fruit, like an apple or an orange, to get like healthy carbohydrates. And fruits and veggies are a great way to also stay hydrated when you're traveling. So just something to think about, you guys, when you are traveling. You can bring your own water bottle, stay hydrated, and pack your own snacks. All is a-okay as far as getting on a plane and traveling. I think we're just kind of going through these because this is where my clients are at. Some of them are traveling, so we've been going over some traveling tips. So number 3 is another one. It's not just traveling on a plane or going somewhere far away, but also just going on vacation. If you're visiting someone, or if you're staying at a hotel or an Airbnb or whatever, a great way to like stay on track is to try to mimic the way you would eat at home to the best of your ability. Like going out to dinner or going out to lunch, obviously when you're on vacation or hanging out with family or friends or going somewhere fun, you're gonna end up doing that, right? But pick that one meal a day that you do want to indulge a little bit more. And then on those other meals, try to really stay on track and mimic how you would normally eat. And the way you can do that, hopefully, if wherever you're staying does have a fridge, which is very helpful, and a microwave, also very helpful. And if not, having, even a stove would be even better, but you can still try to bring your own cooler if possible, if you're driving in a car. But planning ahead and kind of creating a little bit of meal planning. And then the most important thing is finding a grocery store nearby. And if you don't like to go grocery shopping, which I don't like to go grocery shopping, I will actually order Instacart and plan a scheduled delivery for when I finally get to the house that I'm renting or the place that I'm staying, so that when you're there, your groceries arrive and you can put them all away. So like for me, if we're staying at an Airbnb and there is like a stove and a fridge like normal, I'd order Instacart the normal things that I would eat for breakfast, because breakfast to me personally is just an easy meal to like match what I would normally eat at home. And then of course, if we are going out for lunch, I'll try to plan to have like a better dinner loaded with veggies and meat and protein, whatever. But also having those healthy grab and go snacks. If you're going to be jumping in the car, going here, going there, grabbing snacks at your place where you can just stay filled up on protein and nutrients can really help you stay on track when on vacation. It's not going to be perfect. You're going to be indulging, right? Be realistic with yourself there, but also setting yourself up for success by planning ahead is key. Number 4 is consistency. So the key to, tracking your nutrients truly is consistency. So what I find with some of my clients is like Monday through Friday-ish, sometimes Thursday, they're tracking, they're eating like way under their calories. You know, we have calorie targets, we have protein targets and carb targets, but they're falling super short and under on those. And then when the weekend comes, they either don't track at all or they go way over, which is normal. But what you want to do is like try to be consistent. Give yourself that flexibility during the week when you normally feel like, okay, Monday morning, I'm in quote unquote diet mode. I'm going to undereat. I'm going to underfuel. I'm going to deprive myself. And then when the weekend comes, I can hit it hard because there's less structure, less rigidity, less, I can't think of the word, less structure, less routine. So instead of doing it that way and really letting loose on the weekends, try to, give yourself, you have these targets for a reason. So use them. Like if you want the ice cream at night, you've got room for that. Enjoy it. And try to be consistent. Then as time goes on, when you eventually aren't tracking, like, oh yeah, like I know that I can enjoy this glass of wine on this night, or I know that I can go out for dinner on this night and still make this work for me, or I know that I can, have room for like that nightly treat. So you're keeping it consistent all week long and right into the weekend and through the weekend, versus trying to be too strict, rigid, not really knowing how to fuel your body. And then you hit the weekend and you go ham, and then you wake up Monday morning feeling puffy and bloated and inflamed and not good and fatigued, and kind of trying to you're in that cycle of like fluctuating. So the reason for tracking truly is awareness and recognizing those patterns. So having a coach help you work through that and work through those patterns to slowly adjust them and meet you where you're at can really help you stay on track, reach your goals, and feel your best. Number 5, finally, is to think of your choices on a scale of worse, better, and best, and ask yourself in any given situation, what choice would be better? You don't always need to make the best, most perfect, most optimal choice. Like, it's not realistic to eat chicken and broccoli at every meal, right? But like if you're gonna end up in a drive-through and you are gonna order like a fried chicken sandwich, well, ask yourself, what would be better than this choice? Maybe it's getting grilled chicken. Maybe it's, getting a smaller size, eating half the fries, whatever it is. If you meet yourself where you're at and you ask yourself what's better, you can always win. You're always going to feel good about your choice. So again, another example, I'm going to have pizza. Normally, if I'm going to have pizza, I'm going to eat like half the pizza. What would be better than eating half the pizza? Well, maybe I'll enjoy a couple slices mindfully and add a side salad. Then you're better on the scale. So if you're constantly meeting yourself where you at, ask what would I normally do and what would be a little bit better on that scale. You are making progress, and that's all. If you're gonna go out for ice cream and you're gonna order like a 3-scoop high in a cone, what would be better than that? Well, maybe I'm going to really enjoy and savor like 1 scoop in a dish, or have a better version of it, maybe a frozen yogurt. That's again better when meeting yourself where you normally are. You run into a convenience store as another example. You want like a snack. You're hungry. You walk in and you grab like the Doritos or the Pringles and a soda. What would be better than that choice that you normally would get? Well, maybe you grab like some beef jerky. Maybe you get some baked chips, like a bag of lower calorie chips, or maybe some popcorn. And then instead of a soda, you grab like maybe a diet soda. Because normally you're going to drink a soda, right? Either way, or you can get a seltzer water. These are just better options on the scale. So if you always ask yourself, like, I have goals, I want to feel good, what would be better on my scale of worse, better, and best? Doesn't always need to be best. If it is, great. If it's not, you can still make progress if you're not making perfect choices, and it's really important to remember that. That is it, you guys. I hope this gives you a little bit of something to think about as we move into the weekend. And remember, you guys, if you're ever struggling a little bit, you always have me in your Just Coach app. Message me because I'm here to support you, judgment free, and we're always going to work through things that you're going through to make things better. And that's where progress comes from. I hope you guys have a great weekend.